Now that we can create arrays, let's start to use them. The first big advantage that arrays have over lists is that we can do math to the whole thing at once. If we take a range of numbers equals np.arange5, this is, again, an array of numbers 0 through 4. First, we can add a number to this. Numbers plus 1 gives us, instead of 0 to 4, we have 1 to 5. We can multiply it by a number. Numbers times 2 gives us 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Or we can even add it to itself, which actually gives us the same thing as multiplying by 2. All of these are element-wise operations, meaning they apply to each element in the array individually. Let's try something a little more interesting and add the array to a flipped and scaled version of itself. Let's take numbers and set it equal to itself plus a flipped version of itself, and this flipped version of itself is scaled. And then we'll see what numbers has become. So now it's 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Let's take a quick look at some of the most basic line plots. For plotting, we need to make sure that in our setup we are importing matplotlib.pyplot, and that we have this line, matplotlib notebook, so that all of our plots appear in the page here. If we want to make a plot of y equals x squared, we'll first need to generate the x values to use. And we'll do that using linspace. X equals np.linspace. We'll generate this between 0 and 100, and we'll tell it to generate 200 data points so that we can be sure that this is smooth. And then we'll make our y values by just squaring x. To make the plot, we'll be using pyplot, which works similarly to MATLAB's plotting tools. First, we need to create a figure. plt.figure will create a new figure. Then we can tell it to plot the x and y values. plt.plot x and y. This creates a nice interactive graph we can actually play with. We can pan around and see other parts of it. With this tool we can zoom in by left-clicking and dragging, or we can zoom out by right-clicking and dragging. And if we get lost and need to figure out where we are, we can always press the home button to get back to the original view. We'll talk more about plotting later, but for now this should help you get started with arrays and visualizing the data inside of them.